Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll focus a bit on theory necessary to understand how ISystem and SystemBase work and when to use which. So let's dive in and learn the interesting details. As I discussed in previous material, systems that implement the ISystem interface operate on unmanaged code. So we have no way to pass references and almost everything is value-oriented. We have the ability to call methods analogous to mono behavior, namely onCreate, onUpdate, onDestroy, along with the methods available in the ISystem start-stop interface, namely onStartRunning equivalent to onEnable and onStopRunning equivalent to onDisable. As you may recall, ISystem could easily be tagged with burst compile attribute, which greatly improved performance. In addition, the ability to easily create entity query and the ability to limit the redundant work of the system are additional benefits. It is also possible to schedule a job. That's why in most cases, and probably for a few other reasons, it's a good idea to use ISystem practically whenever possible and limit the use of SystemBase. Okay, but what is SystemBase? Systems which implement the abstract class SystemBase are managed systems. It is possible to use references and additionally refer to the code called by monobehavior classes. This is a great advantage, but the use of managed types excludes the use of the burst compiler, which has a negative impact on performance, and this is something we would like to limit. Obviously, like ISystem, we can also use the onCreate, onUpdate, onDestroy, onStartRunning, and onStopRunning methods. In the case of SystemBase, we have entity4each, which allows us to iterate over component data. Such a call is very similar to using newer mechanisms like entity query. This is a convenient simplification, especially when we do the job only once in the code. According to the documentation, a maximum of 8 parameters can be passed this way. We have also job.withCode, which executes a lambda expression as a single background job. In practically all cases, it is better to create a job as a separate struct and be able to reuse it for different cases. But if we are absolutely sure that the code will be used only once, then we can use this syntax. Okay, so let's move on to the comparison and the summary. Taking advantage of the fact that systems implementing the ISystem interface are structs and unmanaged code, we can use the burst compiler. Unfortunately, this is not possible in SystemBase due to the managed code. Both systems can use the idiomatic forEach, which is based on entity query. SystemBase can store managed data directly in system type. However, ISystem doesn't allocate the garbage collector because we don't use objects, so no garbage is created in memory. It's a huge advantage. SystemBase supports inheritance, which can be a useful feature, but let's not forget that properly implemented interfaces can also greatly simplify code management. In the ISystem case, both ISystem and SystemBase allow you to schedule jobs implementing iJob entity and iJob chunk. As I mentioned before, SystemBase has simplified syntax like entities4each and job with code. I think the comparisons represent the most important differences between the systems, which will give you an idea of what to use when. Whenever possible, use ISystem because of its high optimization and the possibility to use burst. If you need references or communication with mono behavior, for example UI or input, then SystemBase comes in handy. In the next long format video, we'll discuss the new input system needed to implement character movement. Of course, so that it can be applied to the ECS in some way. Thanks for all your support I encourage you to subscribe and support us on Patreon. See you soon in the next video.